Hey y'all, it's Lindsay. I thought today I would bring you along with me as I share a what I eat in a day video. I am a ketovore, which means I put an emphasis in protein and less emphasis in fat, and I try to keep my carbs fairly low. I do not count macros. I do not count calories. I'm not that stringent with myself, but I just try to follow those parameters. I have been living this lifestyle for several years at this point, and the tracking and calculating and things like that just tends to overwhelm me if I do it for very long. So there you go with that. I started off earlier this morning when I first woke up with a single cup of black coffee with a little bit of peppermint extract in that, and I then moved on to my breakfast. Let me show you what I had for breakfast and lunch. Now that it is time to eat, I have a second cup of black coffee. I put a few drops of peppermint extract in here because I really enjoyed that. And I've already drunk a little bit of this as I was taste testing it. It is an eggnog protein milk. So I make my own eggnog here at home. This is dairy-free, and I obviously just reuse my container and label it. I do have a video showing how I do this, and I will try to remember to link that. So I did 8 ounces of my homemade eggnog, and then I did 1 scoop of the Isopure Zero Carb Protein Powder. This is whey isolate. It has 25, oh, good gravy. Come on, camera. 25 grams of protein, no fat, no carbs. So I just blended that up here in a small blender bottle, and I usually use my immersion blender in order to get that sorted out. It kind of helps it get really frothy. I do like my blender bottles, but I find that when I'm initially blending them or blending up my protein powders, using the immersion blender gives me the results that I am after. It is lunchtime for me. I am very hungry. That eggnog protein shake did not tide me over the way that I had hoped. So what I have here is 8 ounces of a London broil that I had cooked, I guess maybe 4 days ago or so. And in order to reheat that, I decided to use my Instant Pot Mini. I put a little plate on top of my trivet down there with just some water so that I could reheat it without losing any of the moisture. This turned out a little more tough than I had hoped when I first cooked it, so I was doing my best not to draw any more moisture out of that. To go alongside of that, I have about 2 tablespoons of my homemade mayonnaise, and it has about half a tablespoon of horseradish. It could probably stand to use a little more horseradish, but I'm going to just ride with what I have there. I love horseradish, so good. And I put a tiny bit of salt in there as well. And then right here I have a protein sparing modified fast. Let's say the whole words when we talk. Protein sparing modified fast roll, and I put probably a tablespoon of butter between those 2 halves. I've had questions about my butter dish. I got this at Walmart a couple years ago from Better Homes and Gardens. So yeah, if I can find a link to that, I will try to link it down below. And just water. Staying on the water train. And I'm going to go have this. Oh, I wanted to mention, London broil is a pretty solid cut of meat. And in this 8 ounces of London broil, there is a little over 80 grams of protein. So that is a huge score for me. I'm going to have to continue to change my nails this particular video. This one, the polish peeled right off, so I went and put different polish on. And then the same thing happened on this finger, and now it's happening here to this finger. I think it's just time for a full mani change. So if you notice multiple types of nail polish in this video, you're welcome for those confusions. Okay, it is now officially after lunch. I had lunch probably 2 hours ago. I'm not terribly hungry, but I created something that I think is delicious, and I would love to have some of its deliciousness right now. So I'm gonna go snack that. It's pie. So I hope that, I don't know if the pie video is coming out first or if this is coming out first, but this is so good. It is protein sparing, modified, fast friendly-ish. It has less than a gram of fat per slice. If you have not yet checked this video out and it is live, I'll try to remember to link it in the iCards. If it's not yet live, come back, and I hope to have it up there soon. It is 4:45 now, and I am getting ready for dinner. I have some General Tso's chicken sauce in my saucepan up here. I have my chicken down in my oven. Sometimes I do this in the air fryer, which is what my recipe video shows, and right now I'm choosing to do it in the oven because I'm trying to do a large quantity. Our girls don't particularly care for the spiciness of General Tso's chicken, but Jared and I love it. It's like getting takeout at home for us. And for the girls, I will just give them like some barbecue sauce or ketchup and mayonnaise or something to that effect. And they'll have the same vegetables we have. They will have rice. They'll have the chicken. They just won't have any of this sauce. I don't know if y'all are like this, but whenever I am cooking, I do like to have something to drink. I have a water glass over there, but then I decided I wanted some eggnog. I know I've already had some this morning in my eggnog protein shake, but I'm gonna sip on this while I continue whiling away at the dinner. What's that, Chief? What is it? What's going on? He likes to talk when the camera's off, pretending like he's on camera. He doesn't like to be on the camera. Dinner is done. I have a bed of cauli rice, and then I have some General Tso's chicken. My sauce, I didn't add quite as much sriracha this time, so it's not quite as deep red. And then I have a little bit of broccoli over here on the side. I will probably do a squeeze of homemade mayonnaise on top of this, and it will be delicious. My throat is kind of scratchy, so I am going to go ahead and have this throat coat tea from Traditional Medicinals, and it's actually one of my favorite. I know it's kind of an odd flavor for some people, but for me, I definitely have grown to love this one. So that'll probably be the first steeping of this tea bag. Next day, me here. I did not come back to you after that first steeping of the throat coat tea because Jared and I got into watching some of our shows. So I did go ahead and steep my same exact tea bag 2 more times. I thought about having another slice of that pie last night, but I just didn't want to get up and make more dishes, if I'm being honest. And sometimes that outweighs my desire for the food, and that can actually be to my benefit since I had no more calories. That throat coat tea, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it for sure helped my throat. It felt a lot better. I might sound a little bit nasally because we are fighting off some of the sinus crud. The weather here has gone from, you know, like low mid-20s all the way back up to 60 the other day, and it's starting to drop off again, and that always wreaks havoc on my sinuses, and so be blessed. All right, that is all that I have for you this video. I really appreciate you being here. I welcome everybody who is new, and welcome back to those who have been here a little while or since the beginning, and I will see you in my next video.